Good morning. Namaste. Thank you so much for being here. Yoga on the mat. We're going to have a fire inspired sequence today with some breath work. So, as the winter season kind of comes to a close and we look forward to spring, just honoring the fire within us. And so, I'm changing our setup a little bit today, have a fire going, and just as I mentioned, honoring that element within nature and within ourselves. So we'll be doing some breathing exercises, working with the Agni, the fire, and then flowing through some sequences that are meant to kind of elicit that internal heat. And we'll still keep it fairly mellow, but we are going to be using fire as an inspiration for today. So thank you for being here. I'm so honored. I hope this is a blessing for you, and thank you for being here for me. So just a couple of things. We'll keep it pretty simple today. You'll want a pillow and a blanket just to support your seat. If you want your yoga strap, you may need that today. I didn't bring mine down here today, but just gathering your props up, getting yourself settled, and we'll meet here on the mat in just a moment. Adjust this slightly, and we will be doing some standing asanas today, but we'll begin here on the floor. So finding a comfortable seated position on the mat, settling in here. We're gonna have a little visitor today. Hopefully she settles in. Happy Sunday. As you begin to find your seat, you can sit cross-legged. If lotus is within your sequence or your posture, you can find lotus posture. You can also go into hero's pose or a supported hero's pose on your knees here. So finding what's comfortable for you. Any way you find yourself, you want to be able to sit with a nice straight spine with comfort. So using the pillow or blanket to bring the hips elevated above the knee is going to help find that alignment. And once you've found a comfortable position, just begin connecting to where your body and the floor meet. Feeling heavy through the legs, through the base, foundation. And as you begin to bring awareness to your root, to the base, bring awareness to the breath. The inhale and the exhale. Begin noticing where you feel the breath in the body. Bring some awareness to the nostrils. Noticing the cool air as you inhale at the base of the nostrils, and then noticing the heat of the exhale. That internal fire, heating the breath, and then we exhale it out. Let's begin building our strong foundation. So once again, feeling heavy through the legs, through the seat, noticing where the seat bones meet the floor. Really wanting to check in, noticing if you're tilting to one side or the other, have more weight on one side than the other. Just finding a nice comfortable center. Same with front and back. So really wanting to find that center base point in your foundation. This is our root. This is where we meet the earth. So allowing yourself to root in through the ground, creating a strong foundation like a tree, sending your roots into the ground from your seat or from your legs. And then allowing that energy to come back up through the seat, through the legs. Feeling that two-way connection with the earth through the hips. And then bringing a slight engagement to the lower abdomen. Kind of sealing the top of that base. We're going to begin to stack the spine. Creating length. Growing strong like a tree. You can roll the shoulders back, shoulder blades begin to slide down the back, towards the spine and down, towards the ground. Neck elongates, chin is neutral. And then you can imagine an invisible cord from the top of your head to the ceiling, pulling you, lengthening you. Hands can rest gently on the knees. And as we breathe here, just begin allowing the breath to be a meditation. Inhale and exhale. I want to connect with the fire, and so from the ground up, if we follow the chakra system, or you may just identify with regions of the body, but with our seat and our pelvic area, the lower groin being our earth center, the root chakra aligns with the element of earth. Then as we move up, the sacral chakra, identifying with water. And then we move into the solar plexus. And that's really where our fire begins, so in the belly. And so we're going to really want to, as we flow through our practice today, intending to connect with the element of fire, honoring the fire, work on or set the intention of breathing from the belly. Really connecting with that fire, stoking the fire, and using it as we flow through the breath and then through the asanas. And then we move up the body into air, and then the cycle repeats. And as we connect to the breath, we're going to do a little cleansing breath exercise to achieve balance through the system. So continuing in your upright posture, you're going to take your right hand, and we're going to be using the thumb and the ring finger, the forefinger, or the ring finger, I think that's correct. We're going to be isolating the nostrils as we go through the breath cycle, and I'll cue you and we'll do a couple together, and then you can go on your own at your own pace. And as you do this, just really connecting to the entire breath cycle up through the body, the inhale, and then the exhale down, back through the body, the prana and apana. You can place your right hand on your heart while we kind of go into this prepping position. We're going to take a nice inhale together, steady throughout to the count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale completely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And take your thumb, closing the right nostril. This is where we're going to begin. So before you close it, let's inhale once more. Exhale, closing the right nostril. Exhale out of the left side of the nose. And then you're going to inhale through the left side. When you reach the top of the inhale, switch using your ring finger, closing the left nostril. Exhale out of the right side. Inhale through the right nostril. Switching your fingers, now using your thumb, close the right nostril. Exhale out of the left side. Inhale, left side. Switching your fingers, closing the left nostril. Exhale, right side. Inhale, right side. Using the thumb, you can close the right nostril, exhale, left. And now I want you to just continue at your own pace here. We'll do 5 more complete breath cycles, left and right side. This is a wonderful breathing technique for achieving balance in the body, but also clearing the sinuses, mental balance and stability. If you have racing thoughts, this is a wonderful exercise you can use. So continuing wherever you are in the breath cycle. And just checking in, seeing if you can feel a sensation of warmth or coolness as you breathe. Let's take one more complete breath cycle here. Beautiful. And dropping the hands, you can place them on the knees. Checking in with your spine alignment. And then let's just take 3 long inhales and exhales together here. Inhaling up through the body, through the root. Feeling that fresh oxygen as it enters the body, the life force, the apana flowing through you all the way up the throat, up the head to the crown. And then exhaling down, allowing that exhale to wash over you like a wave, down the body, flowing through the stomach, out the root, into the ground. Let's do it again. Inhale, all the way up. Feeling the breath through every part of the body, and exhaling down when you're ready. You can release any tension, any stagnant energy with an audible exhale. Let's do one more together. Inhale up through the body like a wave, the apana life force flowing through you. Exhale down, rooting that energy down through your foundation into the ground. Beautiful. Settling here, reconnect with your base, stack the spine. Just take a moment. Good. So we're going to begin with some hip openers. And as we do this, we're going to do our Sufi grinds. For those of you who take class with me, this is traditionally how we open up, but today really focusing in honor of that fire in the core as you move, and feeling that internal warmth as you begin to warm up the body and as it kind of spreads through the body cavity. So allowing the breath to set the pace of the movement. Grounding in, and on your inhale, you're going to begin to shift the rib cage to the right. You want a strong foundation through the base. Hands can be on your knees. You're just going to begin rotating around the circumference of the pelvic bowl, dropping all the way back, stretching back into the low back, back of the hips, and allowing the breath to set the pace that's right for you. I like to inhale along the front side of the rotation, exhaling along the back side of the rotation. You can close your eyes, allowing the breath to bring awareness to any tension in the body. Let's take 3 more rotations on this side. Moving at the pace that's right for you. Good, and once you've completed your 3rd rotation, begin to imagine an invisible pull up the center channel of the body from the ground like a tether ball. Begin wrapping yourself around that internal pull. Just making the rotation smaller and smaller. Winding yourself up, strong spine until we eventually will meet in middle. Good, and let's take a cleansing breath here together. We'll inhale for 5, exhale for 5. So inhale. Exhale. Good, and take one more inhale and exhale at your own pace. Feel free to let out any tension, audible exhale. So we warm up the body on those exhales. You can kind of feel the release of some fire, some vapor through your mouth. So we're really working with that fire today. So honor what's coming up for you. You can switch the feet if you've got them crossed. And then realigning in your center, your base, strong base here. We're gonna now rotate Sufi grinds to the left side. So on the inhale, bringing the rib cage to the left, and then begin rotating the top trunk of your body around the base, allowing the breath to set the pace. Inhale along the front of the rotation. Exhale along the back side. Waking up the organs in the body, skeletal system, circulatory system. Let's take 3 more rotations on this side. If you do meet a point of tension, you can pause and just invite the breath in, allowing the breath to move any stuck emotions, stagnant energy, tension. Good. And as you complete the 3rd rotation, once again, just imagining that internal pull, that tetherball pull. You're going to begin winding yourself around. And once here, just settling into center. Let's go ahead and take a breath together. Inhale for 5. Exhale. Then taking an inhale and an exhale at your own pace. Good, and we're gonna open up the neck now with some neck rolls. So same idea here, we're gonna allow the breath to set the pace of the movement. Being really gentle with your neck. You can begin by just moving it side to side, waking it up, good morning, and then placing your right ear to your right shoulder. So again, just begin rotating down, chin comes to chest. I like to inhale along the front side of the rotation, exhaling with chin up to the sky. And in honor of the fire on the exhale, we can go ahead and the next time you're along the backside exhale, open up the mouth wide. Imagine dragon breath or fire vapor coming out of the mouth. So inhale, and then along the backside, exhaling. Good, let's take 3 more rotations on this side. Slow or as fast as you need. And when you're finished, we'll meet in center. Good. Releasing any tension from the shoulders. Let's take an inhale breath together. Inhale for 5. Exhale. And then inhale and exhale at your own pace. Good. Let's shift to left side. So left ear comes to left shoulder. Begin rotating down. Inhale, chin comes to chest. On the exhale, you can release like a fire breather. Inhale. And exhale. We bring the breath into everything we do, allowing it to open us, to move us. Let's take 3 more rotations on this side at your own pace. When you're ready, we'll meet in center. Let's take an inhale together, count of 5, inhale. Exhale. And then taking an inhale and an exhale at your own pace. Good. We're going to do one more exercise here from the floor, breathing exercise. And by its nature, I find this to be a very fiery exercise. I like to kind of, it always reminds me of when I was younger, throwing a temper tantrum, and it kind of mimics this motion here. But we're going to, on the inhale, stark inhale, very strict inhale, quick, rapid inhale. We're going to inhale, shrugging the shoulders up towards the ears. So you're almost creating tension in the body, and it's inviting all the tension in the body up. Imagine you're just scooping it up, bringing it with you as you bring the shoulders up. And then on the exhale, we're going to feel what's right for you, but I'm going to audibly exhale, and we're going to push all that tension into the earth Imagine it flowing through the arms, down the palms, into the earth. So it looks something like this. I'll do a couple. Okay. So you can inhale through the nostrils, very cleansing through the nostrils, bring up all that tension at the shoulders, the ears, and then releasing it down, pushing down into the earth. So let's do 5 of these together. Inhale, up, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. One more, inhale, exhale. If you need to, you can do 3 more on your own. If you're settled and you feel good, just resting here. Coming back to a normal breath cycle. You can release a lot of built up tension with that simple exercise. Good. Connecting with the breath here. We're going to prepare to transition. We're going to move to a standing position, and so we really want to bring this breath with us, this openness that we've created in the body, this feeling of warmth and fire in the abdomen. And so we want to take that with us. So as we transition, we're going to come and we're going to begin standing in mountain pose, center of the mat. So taking your breath with you on the inhale, just begin to transition the body. You can bring the legs out in front of you. Shaking them out. Let me see, I'll just adjust slightly. So coming to the center of your mat, standing in mountain pose. Setting a strong foundation in the feet. So feet are just a little bit closer in than hip width distance. Placing the feet firmly on the mat. Begin setting your foundation through the feet. So once again, noticing how you're standing on the planes of the feet. Do you have more weight on the inside of the stance or on the outside? Pronation and supination. So checking your balance left to right and also front to back on the feet. Wanting to be nice and center. And then noticing if you can imagine an invisible rectangle on the bottom of the foot. Some people experience it like a triangle, but 2 points at the top of the foot, left, front, left, and right, and then at the heel, all 4 corners of the feet suction onto the mat, creating a very strong foundation for us to build up from. So then we engage the lower legs through slightly engaging the thighs, the hips, the lower abdomen, strong foundation in the legs. Building up from the low abdomen, strong spine. Once again, you can rotate the shoulders back, encouraging them down. Shoulder blades slide down by the spine, rotating them back. Palms face open. And here we are in our mountain pose. Elongate through the neck. Imagining that invisible cord to the ceiling, just lengthening the spine a little further. And finding your breath. Inhaling up from the feet, all the way up the trunk of the body, through the stomach, the chest, up the nose, through the crown. And then exhale back down, through the crown, the throat, the chest, the belly, down the legs, and out the feet. Finding that full cycle of breath, inviting the full body into the breathing experience. And we're going to begin to move here. And we want to take that breath with us as we move. So allow the breath to be a meditation as you physically change the postures. The breath remains constant. That's where our yoga is today. On the next inhale breath, arms come up overhead. And we're going to keep them up overhead, just shifting into a modified mountain pose or different variation, arms up overhead. Feel the length through the arms. Middle fingers point towards the ceiling, elongating up. We're not bringing the shoulders up towards the ears. They remain nestled back. Shoulder blades rotate down the spine, but we are elongating through the arms. You can wiggle your fingers, bring some awareness and life to the fingertips, and then stretching them out up towards the ceiling. Good. On the next exhale, bringing arms down to your sides, and we're immediately going to bring them up on the inhale, once again up overhead, but this time on the exhale, swan dive forward. We're going to bring the hands towards the floor for just a moment, and then finding the palms on the shins, coming up to a tabletop here. And from this position, just finding what's right for you. So you might be a little bit lower depending on your flexibility. You can also bend your knees. What we're looking for here is a straight spine, so we don't want to curve through the spine. We're looking for elongation from the tailbone to the tip of the head. Imagining yourself like a table. Someone should be able to set a glass of water on your back without it falling over. Really seeking length all the way down the spine. So you can take your left hand or your right hand, putting it on your tailbone, bringing awareness, kind of that sacrum, tailbone area, and elongate out. And then imagine elongating all the way through the spine, through the head, reaching opposite ends of the room here. Taking a couple inhales and exhales. Okay, so we're going to begin introducing some movement here. So this is where we're going to be in the inhale state. On the exhale, we're going to release down. We want to maintain a flat back, but we're going to release the neck and head, making the head heavy. So in our exhale, releasing hands down to the floor, nose comes towards the shins, releasing the head heavy. On the inhale, coming back up to tabletop. Exhale, release down. Inhale up. Exhale down. If it feels good to bend your knees slightly on the exhale to warm up the hamstrings, that's totally fine. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Might find additional length with every breath cycle, using the breath to open the body. Inhale up. Exhale down. Let's do one more complete breath cycle here. Inhale up to tabletop. Exhale down. On the next cycle, we're going to inhale up. On the exhale, we're going to walk our hands out, coming into a plank position. So shoulders stack over wrists, palms are wide, 5 fingers stretching out. Oops, let me back up just there. So we don't want to be piped through the body like a downward dog. We also don't want to let our hips sag down. So we're finding a nice straight spine position as best you can, stacking shoulders over wrists, protecting the elbows. Really engaging through the glutes, through the legs. If that's too much for you, you can drop the knees down, finding that solid plane from the tailbone up to the shoulder blades. Breathing here, hold it for 3, 2, 1, and then begin slowly bringing your body down towards the floor. Good. And we're going to stretch our arms out in front of us. Let me adjust here. So lying on your belly, arms stretched out in front of you, legs stretched out behind you. Kind of like Superman flying through the air. We're going to begin with some isolation. So you can put your forehead to the mat. And we're going to begin on the next inhale. Straight right leg. Engage through the entirety of the leg, stretching out through the toes. Just begin raising it slightly off the floor. If it's more comfortable for you, you can also fold your arms in and rest your chest on top of your hands or create some fists. Finding what's right for you. Exhale, release right leg down to the floor. Take an inhale and an exhale breath here. On the next inhale, engage the left leg, lifting left leg up off the ground. You may only be a couple of inches, that's fine. We're rooting down through the hip bones into the ground, lifting left leg up. On the next exhale, release left leg down. Let's do that again. So taking an inhale and an exhale breath here. Good. On the next inhale, engaging the right leg, pointing through the right toes, lifting the right leg up off the floor. Could be a couple of inches, might be a foot, foot and a half. Finding what's right for you. Breathe. And on the next exhale, release right leg down. Take a breath cycle here. Inhale. And exhale. On the next inhale, point left toes. Inhale, lift left leg up off the floor. Breathing here. On the next exhale, breath, point and release left leg down to the floor. Good. Let's take a breath cycle here. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Now extending arms out in front of you. We're going to pair this movement with the arms. So we're going to go opposite leg, opposite arm. So when we raise the right leg up, we're going to raise the left arm up. And likewise, when we lift the left leg up, we'll raise the right arm up. So let's start right leg, left arm. So taking an inhale and an exhale here. Engage the low back, point the right toes. On the inhale, lifting right leg, left arm, stretching in opposite directions. Chin lifts up off the mat, neutral chin. Breathing here. Good. On the exhale, release down. Take an inhale and an exhale breath here. On the next inhale, point the left toes, raising left arm or left leg, right arm. Chin lifts up off the mat, neutral chin. Breathing here, holding here, stretching through the body. On the exhale, release back down to the floor. You can bring your arms back to your sides, palms face up, right ear comes to the mat. We'll take 3 breaths here. Good. After your third breath on the exhale, coming back this time, folding your arms out in front of you so that your hands stack by your chin, or you can bring your hands into little fists and create a mound for under your chin. We're going to lift both legs at the same time. So we want to be heavy through the arms. The arms become our base so that we can take off with our legs. So we're going to become really heavy through the arms and the chest. You can put your forehead on your hands or your chin, feeling what's right for you. And this movement comes from the low back and from creating a fulcrum point, kind of where the sternum is. And don't worry about getting your feet tons of distance off the ground. We're really looking for engagement here in the body, engaging the low back. So take an inhale and an exhale here. On the next inhale, begin lengthening through the legs, engaging the legs, lifting both legs up, toes together, heels together, lift legs up off the ground. Engaging through the whole back side of the body. Breathe here, and on the exhale, release down. Good. Take an inhale and an exhale breath here. On this next one, we're going to extend arms wide out in front of us like Superman. We're going to do the same motion with the legs. This time, we're going to lift the front side of the body, lifting the arms with the legs. So all of our limbs will be off the ground. On the inhale, lift the legs, lift the arms, balancing on those hip bones, the belly, flying through the air. Stretch all the way from the fingertips to the toes. Inhale, exhale. One more inhale. On the exhale, release down. You can release arms down by your sides, palms face up, and this time left ear will come to the mat. We'll take 3 breath cycles here. Good, and we're going to take one more posture from this belly down position. Bending your legs up. You may want your yoga strap for this. Or if you're new to this posture, you can just watch. So coming from this position, arms are reaching down towards my knees. I'm going to lift my chest up slightly, and I'm going to create a bind, so bringing my left hand to the outside of my left foot, bringing the heel down towards my butt. Same thing on the right side. Right hand comes to the outside of the right foot. I can flex my toes back to help with the grip here. And finding your breath here. So if this is enough for you, you don't need to go any further. If you're losing your breath, you don't need to go further. If you have a yoga strap, you can use that to extend the reach of your arms. And so we're just breathing here. If this is too much for you, you can also do it one grip at a time, rotating, spending half the time on your right, half the time on your left. I'll try and cue when we're halfway through. If you're here, I'm gonna invite you to elevate the legs and to go into the full bow pose. But before we do that, checking with the body. When we go into bow pose, or even when we're on the floor, we don't want our knees spread out far from each other. We're trying to keep the knees in line with the hips or even closer together. They aren't touching, but they're closer together. So not allowing the knees to splay out. We want to keep strong alignment through the hips. On the next inhale, you're going to begin pushing through the tops of your feet, lifting the legs up. It's a very similar sensation to when we lifted the legs off the floor earlier. You can begin to arch the spine back, opening up through the shoulders, creating a bow. And again, it's not about the distance. It's not about getting your heels over your head. It's truly about maintaining the breath, allowing the posture to open the body with the breath. If you lose your breath, you come back down, reconnecting with the breath here. If you're in your bow, take one more breath cycle in. On the exhale, bringing the chest down, releasing the legs down. Keeping the arms by your side, palms face out, putting right ear to the mat. And take 3 breath cycles here. Staying connected with the breath throughout. Good, we're gonna do that one more time. So when you're ready on the inhale, folding the knees up, bringing the heels towards the butt, finding your grips for your bow pose. Finding your breath. On your next inhale, pushing up towards the feet, towards the legs, pushing back, pushing up, balancing on the pelvic bones, breathing here. One more inhale, push up, see if you can get just a little bit further. And on the exhale, release down. Legs come flat towards the mat. Toes together, heels fall open, left ear comes to the mat. 3 breath cycles here. Awesome. On the next inhale, bring your hands underneath the shoulders. We're going to push ourselves up into a tabletop. And then it's going to feel really good to release the back here. So slowly find yourself down into a child's pose. You can open the legs, allowing the torso to fall down to the mat. Hands can stretch out in front of you, or they can come by your sides, finding what feels right for you today. And connecting with the breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Can feel already the warmth we're generated in the body with just some very simple movements. Let's take 3 more breath cycles here. Allow the breath to move up the spine, bringing fresh apana, life force up the spine, all the way up the neck, through the head, and then washing down like a wave, the exhale, the apana, releasing down, 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 through the feet, through the legs. Beautiful. On the next inhale, we're going to release back up to tabletop. We're going to transition into a cat-cow. So finding a nice foundation here. If you need a blanket underneath the knees for additional support, you can put that there. Hands or wrists stack underneath our shoulders. Nice flat tabletop. Moving into cat-cow, again, we're going to pair this with the breath. On the inhale, we're going to drop the belly down. Tailbone comes up towards the sky. Chin comes up towards the sky. Belly button down towards the floor. Shoulders roll back. Full inhale. And then on the exhale, releasing this, and we're going to invert it. So bringing the spine, curving the spine like a cat. Pushing down through the wrists. Flattening through the low legs. Creating a nice arc along the inside of the body. This is our cat. Transitioning now on the inhale to cow, dropping the belly, dipping the pelvis down so tailbone comes up towards the sky, chin comes up towards the sky. Exhale down into cat, pushing down through the hands, creating an arc in the spine. And now with your own breath cycle, take this at your own pace. You may be moving a little quicker. Your breath cycle might be a little faster than what I've been working with. So honor where you're at and what feels right for you today. Take 2 more complete cycles here. And when you're done, we're going to transition to puppy stretch. So knees stay where they're at. You're going to begin walking the hands forward. And elbows come down to the floor. Chin or forehead come to the floor, and stretching through the shoulders. So armpits are stretching, the top or the back of the shoulders are stretching here. The chin on the mat will intensify the stretch. Tailbone's reaching up towards the sky. And breathe here. Good. On the next inhale, release. Coming up once again to all fours. We're going to do one more shoulder opener here from the floor. We're going to thread the needle. So finding your strong foundation, it's a little bit of a combination of puppy stretch and your tabletop. So we're going to begin threading the needle with the right arm. So we want to create a strong foundation, left hand on the mat, spreading the 5 fingers wide, creating a strong foundation here. All your weight can go onto your left hand. On an inhale, bringing the right hand up towards the ceiling so you can turn, face the side of room, look up to the right hand, really stretch, create length. And then on the exhale, coming through, you're going to dive that right arm through the hole that you've created between your body and your arm. So there's this space here, threading the needle through. Right shoulder comes to the ground, and your left arm, forearm, and elbow can stay on the floor. You can also stretch it out in front of you if you want a little deeper stretch. Right ear can come to the floor, or you can go onto your forehead, finding what feels right for you. And just allowing kind of that lateral cap of the shoulder to stretch, opening up along the shoulder girdle. Breathing here. Let's take 2 more breath cycles from this place. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. The next inhale, bringing the left shoulder down to support. You're going to bring the right arm through, positioning yourself, stacking yourself on left arm again. Complete the posture, bringing the right arm all the way up to the ceiling once again, stretching through. Inhale here, and then exhale, right arm down to the ground. Resetting here at your tabletop. You can take a full inhale and exhale here. Good, and now we'll thread the needle on the left side. So Planting right hand on the ground, all 5 fingers spread wide, equal distribution along the palm of the weight. Have a strong foundation here. On the inhale, reaching the right arm up towards the ceiling, gaze can follow, extending through the left arm. On the exhale, threading left arm through, right elbow drops to the floor, right forearm drops to the floor. Reaching through here. You can extend the right arm if that feels good for you, or you can stay with it supporting you in the bent position. Your left ear comes to the mat, or forehead. Feeling this along the rib cage on the left side, the outer shoulder. Feeling it all the way through the top of the arm. Just a nice stretch supporting the shoulders here. Let's take 2 more breath cycles here. On the next inhale, releasing up, bringing the right arm to support you, underneath you, and then bringing the left arm all the way up. Reaching for the ceiling. Inhale at the top of the reach, and exhale, bringing the left hand down to the mat. Good. From here, let's curl the toes underneath us. You can bring the hands out a couple inches in front of you. We're going to transition into our first downward dog, so spreading the fingers wide, distributing the weight throughout the palms. We don't want the wrists to take all the weight here. Bringing the toes to the mat, folding the toes underneath you, and then extending the legs up. Hips reach up towards the ceiling. You can have a slight bend in your knee. We're looking for a flat plane along the back side of the body, so from the tailbone, top of the head, we're looking for as much of a straight line as we can have. Inhale and exhale here, really reconnecting with the breath here. Inhale, exhale. And you can shift your legs right and left, a little bit of a runner stretch from this position, opening up the legs. And then finding your firm foundation. On the next inhale, bringing the right leg up from the mat, so you're 3-legged dog. You can point the toes of the right leg, stretch the leg out. Inhale. And on the exhale, sweep it through, bringing the right foot between right and left palms on the mat. Exhale here. Set a strong foundation. You're going to bring your left foot out to a 45-degree angle on the firmly on the mat. And then from here, on the next inhale, bringing the arms up, rising up into your warrior 1. We want to stack the right knee above right ankle, setting a strong foundation here, and finding a lunge or a distance for your thigh to the ground that you can sustain for some time. So we don't want to make it so challenging that we can't hold. There's an inherent tension here happening between the legs. We have an engagement along the back side, or along the back side of the posture, the left leg fully engaged, really pushing through the entirety of the left foot. Strong foundation in the left foot. I'm not rolling out to the outside of the foot, and I'm not allowing my knee to come in towards the ground, pronating out. So finding a strong foundation along the fullness of the left foot, and then once again finding that strong foundation on the right foot as well. Arms come up overhead, middle fingers up towards the sky, palms spread out. Good. Breathing here. Take a nice big inhale here. On the exhale, we're gonna open up to warrior two, so our foot comes to more of a 90-degree angle. You can bring the right foot out a little further if that feels right for you. Once again, right knee stacking over right ankle. Arms come out wide to your side. Opening up through the chest, engaging the shoulder girdle. Now the middle fingers are pointed in opposite directions, each side of the room. Rolling those shoulder blades back, neutral chin. Just feeling the strong warrior here, using the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. On the next inhale, we're going to straighten the front leg. You might want to adjust slightly. Just bringing left leg in slightly. We're going to transition into a triangle. If you have a block handy, you may want that for when we rotate down. If not, we'll just create a strong posture here. So with arms out wide, we're going to kind of sass this left hip out towards left wall. Shifting the entire pelvic bowl out to the left, and then reaching the right arm towards the right side of the room, as if you were like reaching for a drink over a bar. Or if you imagine yourself kind of as a teapot or a tea kettle getting ready to pour, you can imagine it that way as well. So you've tilted the pelvic bowl, we're reaching through the right side, lots of strong tension through the shoulder girdle, the arms, and then rotate down. Left arm comes towards the ceiling, right arm down towards the floor, extending in opposite directions, and just breathing here. We're not locking out the front right leg. You can have a slight bend there if you need it. Finding that perfect middle point. Gaze can come up towards left hand, or you can close your eyes here. Extending from the left hip up the rib cage. If it helps, you can bring the left arm overhead slightly for just a breath, feeling that extension along the left side of the body, and then bringing it back up so that your shoulder is in the same plane as your left ear. Breathing here. Good. On the next exhale, we're going to release left hand down, coming back, arms out wide. We're going to shift right foot in so that both feet are facing towards the front of the room, kind of in a star here. And then from here, we're going to do a little breath exercise, a little Tai Chi infusion, if you will. Depending on your bone structure, find the right position for your feet. I like to pivot my feet out about 45 degrees. This is going to be very similar to as if we were going into goddess pose here. So we're going to find that same crouch or squat, if you will, in the legs. So just taking a moment here with the breath, inhale up, exhale down, and just begin kind of isolating up and down, warming up the hips, the thighs. And once you've created a nice breath cycle here with the legs and some synchronicity with the breath in the legs, we're going to introduce the arms. So on the inhale, you can spread the arms out wide. So as if you're, let me crouch down here. So as if you're on the inhale, you're extended up wide and you're gathering up everything kind of out in front, out to your sides. Imagine just gathering any tension or any emotion or anything kind of out in your field. It could be really positive things, whatever it is for you today. You're gathering, bringing it in through the heart. And then when we exhale, we're going to push it out through the heart. So the arms look like this. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, Inhale. Inhale, gathering what we want. Exhale, pushing out what we don't want. Up. Inhale, gathering what we want. Exhale, pushing out what we don't want. So we pair this with the legs. Inhale, we're expanded wide like a star, reaching, reaching, reaching. Crouch and push it out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. If the crouch is distracting, just let it go and just stand and breathe. Taking this at your own pace. Let's do 3 more full breath cycles here. Good. Coming back to your star stance, toes facing the front wall, arms out wide. We're gonna pivot the left foot towards the left side of the room, bringing the right foot to a 45-degree angle. You guessed it, we're gonna inhale here, exhale, stacking the knee over the left ankle, coming into your lunge. On the next inhale, arms come up, warrior 1, left side. Finding a position you can maintain so that we can work through the breath. Inhale here. Exhale. Check in with the foundation at your feet. Are you moving your weight towards the outside of the foot, inside of the foot, or are you distributing it evenly? Allowing the breath to move through the posture. If we lose the breath, we come out of the posture slightly. Take one more full breath cycle here. Take one final inhale, and then on the exhale, we're gonna open up. Right foot's gonna rotate 90 degrees. Can adjust the placement of your left foot. Knee stacks over the ankle, opening the arms wide. Strong warrior 2. Feel that elongation through the chest, through the shoulder girdle. Active legs, strong back leg, strong front left leg. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Good. Two more breath cycles here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. See if you can go down just a couple centimeters more for the last breath cycle here. Exhale. Good. Release right foot. Release left foot, extending the left leg. Toes facing the front of the room. You can walk your toes in slightly, inching them forward. And then once again, we're gonna go down into our yoga squat. So feet are gonna be a couple feet past hip width distance. This is gonna be totally up to your anatomy and your hip structure. So play around with it a little bit. I like my toes at a 45-degree angle here. And then, depending on your comfort level, you can bring your hands to prayer over your heart center. begin squatting down. We're gonna bring the tailbone, the hips, all the way down below the knees. If you have yoga blocks or a blanket and you need some additional support, you can place it between you and the ground, giving you something to kind of perch on and sit on. This is a deep hip opener. I'm using the elbows in the kind of arm or knee pits, if you will, pushing those knees open slightly, just creating natural tension there. And breathe. Let's take 2 more breath cycles here. Inhale and exhale. You can sway right and left if that feels good for you. Good. And then depending on what feels right for you, hey babe, you can plant your hands, support yourself. So you come up slowly, coming all the way to standing. And just rotate your hips slightly here. Good. We have 3 more postures, 1 more standing posture. So we're gonna do tree with the option to go into bound lotus at the end. That's completely optional advancement, so you can just stick with your tree the entire time if that's what feels right for you. So setting a strong foundation through the feet. Collecting ourselves in a mountain pose. Reconnecting with the breath here. We're going to shift our weight to the left foot. Placing the weight evenly across the left foot. Really strong foundation and root through the left foot. Then, depending on where your tree is at, you can begin inching right foot up the left leg. So you can just begin by pivoting on the toes, bringing the right heel just above left ankle. Next advancement of this, if you want hands on the hips, you can, would just be just under left knee. We don't want to be on the knee. Want to protect the knee, so just under left knee. Or if you're ready, with some assistance, you can bring the right foot top of left thigh, groin. And then with your hands, you can bring them into heart center, finding your stability, your balance here. You can also support yourself with a wall. So if there was a wall here on my left side, hand on the wall, using that additional support. Breathing here, breathing up through the root of the left foot, all the way up left leg, bringing it up through the heart, through the head. If it's in your practice and you want to advance, you can also extend the arms up, creating a V shape, as if these were branches extending up overhead. You can also look up towards the ceiling. And if you really want to challenge your balance, you can close your eyes. It's an amazing difference it makes. You can stay here in your tree. You can also release at any time. I'm going to invite those that would want to advance into a bound lotus. So from your tree, you're going to take the right foot, bring it over in front of left hip, allowing the right knee to drop down. You're supporting yourself by holding the right foot in the left hand. You can bring your right hand up into half prayer with a straight left leg, slight bend in the knee. Just begin bringing the body down, allowing the head to weigh heavy. Eventually you can advance this into a toe stand if you prefer, bringing the tush down to rest on the heel of the left foot, but I'm going to just take it to the bound lotus for today. We'll continue to advance this as we progress further. Breathing here. If you're in bound lotus, on the next inhale, bring hands to heart center. Releasing up slowly, supporting the right foot with the left hand when you're up at the top. And then slowly release the right leg down. Firm foundation on the mat. If you're in your tree pose, once again, just release with control. Right foot down to the ground. We'll reset in mountain pose here. One breath cycle. Inhale up from the ground all the way through the body. Up the legs, the belly, the chest, out through the head. Exhale down. Washing that exhale through the body. Releasing into the ground. Tree, left side. So we're gonna firm foundation in the right leg. Equal weight distribution all along the plane of the right sole of the foot. Connect with your breath here. And once again, you can just begin whatever phase of tree that you're in today. Left toes on the mat, left heel just above right ankle. Maybe you're here with your left foot just below right knee. Or you can come to the full expression with the legs. Left foot, upper right thigh, groin. Extending tall here, creating a strong foundation, a strong base. Then we engage the abdomen, stack the spine. Hands can come into prayer. Breathing here, breathing up through right foot, all the way up the body. Connecting with the breath. If you want to advance your posture, you can lift right arms up towards the ceiling, creating a V shape from the chest, extending up. You can also lift the gaze towards the ceiling. And if you want to challenge your balance, you can close your eyes. For those of you who would like to, if you went into your bound lotus on the other side, you can bring the left foot over in front of the right hip, supporting with the right hand. Left knee falls down towards the ground. Left hand can come to half prayer. And then begin folding the body forward. You can slightly bend the knee. Hands come down towards the floor. Head falls heavy. From here, you would or could advance into a toe stand by bringing the tush down on top of the right heel, but we're gonna stay here for today. Breathing here, breathe into that left hip, opening that back side left hip. On the next inhale, coming out with control. Kind of tough with a puppy, sorry. Sit. Sit, good girl. And then releasing with control. Whether you are in bound lotus or tree, just releasing here. Good. Let's bow to our standing practice. We're gonna release down to the floor. Good. One more position here. Hi. So finding a hero's pose, meaning sitting on the lower half of your legs, but on top of the heels. Good. We're gonna finish up with a nice stretch of the low back, but alignment is super important in this posture because we don't want to hurt our necks. So we're going to flow from this posture, this rabbit posture, will flow into a breathing exercise and then savasana. So this is rabbit. So once again, creating a strong foundation through the legs. Weight heavy on the heels for the moment. And bringing awareness of your fingertips to the heels. So just feeling where that's at, because we're gonna be taking a grip of the heels in just a moment. From here, taking a nice inhale up. Exhale, we're gonna bring the chin down to the chest, and we're gonna begin rolling forward like a C, just rolling in on ourselves. So curving the spine like we did in cat posture, curving down. Imagine bringing the forehead to the belly button, so just curving down, down, down. And most ideally, our forehead will come to the knees. We've got a grip, or our fingertips, take those fingertips on the heels, and now creating a grip at the heels with the full hand. Your forehead is at your knees, and begin lifting the hips up. You're creating a natural tension through the arms. So from the shoulders all the way to the fingertips, create natural tension. You shouldn't feel a ton of weight on the top of your head. You should be bearing that weight through the arms. That you're creating that tension. Imagine that spine curving up like cat pose, really opening up the low back, the spine, all the way up the neck. Take one more breath cycle here. And on the inhale, bringing the butt back to the heels, begin rounding up slowly. Chin comes up last. Hands can come to top of thighs. And then just taking a full breath cycle here. Recentering with the breath. You're welcome to do that again if you'd like. But we are going to be transitioning into Kalabati breathing, breath of fire. This will be our last breath exercise. And then we'll move into a Savasana. So as I mentioned, this is literally called breath of fire. It comes from the belly, that space that we were talking about at the beginning of the practice. And it is, it really works with the suction of the breath cycle. So what we're gonna do here is staying in this hero's position, hands out on the thighs. We're gonna take a nice inhale and exhale breath. And with our stomachs, I want you to imagine one of those flumes that presses in it, you press it down and it pushes air out. That's kind of what we're creating with the belly here. So it's gonna look something like this. So by engaging the abdomen and pushing in, creating that inward motion, that breath is gonna push out through the nostrils. You can have an open mouth, but it's preferred that it comes out through the nostrils. And the inhale breath is natural, so it comes as a natural extension of the outward pushing of the exhale. So I'm not intentionally breathing it. So just take a couple of practices here. You can place your hand on your belly, straight spine, and imagine just breathing fire out through your nostrils with that breath. You can do it with an open mouth if that's more comfortable for you, if you have congestion, whatever. Okay? So let's practice here. We're gonna do 10, and then we'll do a couple of cycles of 10, okay, till we reach 50. So let's start here. Nice inhale. Exhale, Kalabati breathing. Let's start with a cycle of 10. Good. Take a nice inhale. Exhale. If you can, breathing out through the nostrils this time. Inhale. 10 more. Let's go. Good. Release. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Let's go for 15 this time. Inhale, big inhale. Exhale. Release. Full inhale. Full exhale. If you have any type of dizziness, lightheadedness, that is normal, but take breaks as you need. This is our last cycle of 15. Should feel that constriction in the belly. And here we go. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Let's take a nice big inhale. Audible exhale. Inhale. Audible exhale. One more time. Inhale. Audible exhale. Good. That breath is meant to be, not only does it create warmth inside the body, but super, super cleansing. So you might even feel a little lightheadedness, a little spacey. So just take your time. We're going to transition now into Savasana. Lying flat on your back on the mat. Just take your time getting into position. Allowing the breath to settle you into the posture. Heels come together, toes flop open. You can rest your shoulder blades down the spine, lengthening the spine on the mat. Arms down by your side, palms are open, facing the ceiling. Take a nice inhale. All the way up from the feet, up the legs, up through the pelvis, the belly, the chest, up the nose, out the crown. And like a wave, allow the exhale to wash down through the crown, down the forehead, the throat, the chest, down the belly, through the hips, down the legs, out the feet. Inhale all the way up, nice cleansing breath washing over you. Exhale down. Savasana, corpse pose, is about stillness. So inviting that stillness into the posture. If you feel the need to itch or scratch or wiggle, allow this to be a meditation on stillness. And allow yourself to move through the discomfort of not reaching for that itch or not reaching for that scratch. Allowing yourself to become a corpse here on the floor. Inhale. Exhale, melt into the floor. And if it suits you, you can just end your Savasana with the visualization of your internal fire, bringing it to a nice, contained, slow burn, something that can sustain you and take you throughout the rest of your day, your week, taking it with you. You can stay in your Savasana as long as you would like. I'm going to close us with the chanting of the sound of Om. Om is comprised of 3 sounds, creating the perfect sound all in one. You may feel the O at the beginning in the root, the lower part of your body, the Ah, the middle part of the sound in the middle of the body, the chest, and then the at the end, up in the forehead, the crown. So just allowing this to resonate through your body. And you can join me if you would like. Thank you for being here. The light in me honors and acknowledges the light in all of you. Namaste. Have a great day, everyone.